Good morning, everyone. My name is David Nazaire. I'm the CEO of Ride Goat. In 2018, I'm sure we're all familiar with the boom of micromobility. We saw companies launch in large cities, hundreds, thousands of scooters that flooded the streets. Around that same time, I saw the boom and I had an idea. I wanted to launch a fleet in a local town. I grew up in northern New Jersey, small town, and a town I wanted to launch in had good walking traffic, a solid, dense downtown area, had all the features needed to launch a small mobility fleet. I reached out to an existing operator that had a franchise model, and they actually turned me down because my city was not large enough for them. That's when I had the idea of doing my own thing, going my own way. There were other solutions out there to help people to launch their own micromobility fleets, but there was still certain aspects about it that weren't solved. SIM cards, launching, operations, hardware, software. Who do I talk to when I go to a city, to a college campus, when I want to go launch? And these are things that really birthed the idea behind Goat. At Goat, we help people to launch their own micromobility fleets across America, whether it's a small town, college, city, corporate campus, hotels. We have a diverse group of different fleet operators. We do this in a couple of ways by providing software, hardware guidance, resources, guidance, support, customer support, and really filling in the needs that we found that lacked within the industry. Over the past 5 years now, we've helped over 30 different people launch across over 43 different markets in the US. We've had over 100,000 rides, good revenue, profit, and we're looking towards the future. We have a few things that we want to do next year in terms of in the hardware space and providing different hardware for operators, because one of the things that we really believed in as an operator was good hardware, good operations. Unlike some of our bigger operators that, or bigger competitors that did have franchise models, we worked with fleet operators to launch brand new hardware instead of downcycling old vehicles. And we have countless numbers of success stories, and I'll share one with you now. We had a gentleman in 2019, he had just had a baby, and he told me one time that at the time that he ordered his scooters, he started with just 6 vehicles. And at that time, he just launched them in the downtown area of his city, and they gained so much attention. A few months later, he ordered 30 more vehicles, and he continued to order. Summer of last year, he was operating over 80 vehicles across 6 different cities in rural Indiana. The markets that we target tend to be smaller, middle-tier markets that are overlooked by larger companies. And we really focus on each fleet being locally owned and operated so that we have the same people that walk the streets and care about their township or their city or their college campus is the same person that's going to be launching the fleet. And we try to guide them and support them to be successful.
Great, thanks for that. How do you make the money?
Yeah. Sorry, my apologies. So we operate in a franchise-like model. So when someone is launching with us, they're operating underneath the Goat branding. We help them with the hardware, software, and then we collect a percentage of revenue. And unlike our other competitors, we want it to be a win-win. We've heard of competitors that take as high as 70%, I've heard, of revenue. And the operator is responsible for all the overhead and day-to-day operations. Whereas in our model, we really focus on efficiency. We focus on really supporting them so that they can be profitable. If they win, we win. And usually our fee is anywhere from 10 to 20%, depending on their fleet size. The larger the fleet, the less we take.
I just ask as well, of the 30 customers, how many are profitable?
We only have about 5 that have yet to reach profitability. We're constantly launching new fleets. We actually launched a fleet about 2 weeks ago. Our record to date is 28 days to profitability, and most of our fleets will break even in about 60 to 180 days on average. So they'll normally break even within 1 season. So usually what I like to say to people is, we help everyday people start their own fleets, and I'd be glad to chat with anybody about starting your own.
Who deals with regulatory issues?
We also help them through that. So many of the times they don't know who to talk to. A lot of these smaller towns and cities, they don't even have any regulation on uh, micromobility or e-scooters. So many times we're working with them. We get on Zoom calls. I've even gone out to certain cities to chat with, whoever the decision maker is, demonstrate the vehicles, how they work, organization to make sure that they're running a good operation. And we really like to partner with local businesses to really engage with the local community.
Who owns the vehicles?
The local fleet operator. So it's locally owned and operated. And we want to make sure that, the same people, like I said before, that are walking the streets have a vested interest in that fleet.
What's your value add then when customers are asked, or, when your customers are saying like, this is the reason we chose GOAT, what ends up being your value add?
A lot of the resources and support that we add, accessibility as well. GOAT also handles customer support. So they're not getting customer calls or messages at 1 a.m. We have a team of people that does that for them. There's a lot of small things that there are pain points that if you went right now to any of the providers out there that can help you start a fleet, there are still pain points that you're going to face, and we try to take all those pain points out.
Very cool. One other question. In the 43 places, I think you said that the 30 companies are operating, who else is operating there?
We only have very few cities that we have competition, because many of the times these are towns and cities that nobody is paying attention to. There's a few though. We've had operators like local regional operators. We've had major operators. We've even had cities turn major operators down because they wanted someone local to run a fleet there. So yeah, there's definitely competition out there. It's just like the Lime CEO said, you have to provide the best service. And we feel like we've done that.
Awesome.
Okay, he said that, but he also did say this is a high volume, low margin business.
Yes. So that's why there are thousands of these smaller markets. We don't need to drop 1,000 vehicles in some of these cities, but they can run profitable businesses with 40, 50, and as little as 12 vehicles.
Well, they can be profitable businesses, but what's the magnitude of the profit? How meaningful a business can they build?
So for example, one of our fleet operators is from El Dorado, Arkansas. If you Google what the average income in that city is, it is very low. So what he makes off of his scooters, I think he has about 20 right now, puts him in an upper middle class category based on 20 scooters. So it depends on what area you live and what that is. For some people, we've had, I can give you countless stories and examples.
I like that story.
Yeah.
I just, for the record. Awesome. Let's do a round of applause for David.
Thank you very much.
So much.